Let's talk about Chi, because it's honestly one of the most powerful and versatile power sources in all Marvel, and y'all stay sweeping it under the rug. I don't really get why. It's really up there with the power cosmic, magic, etc, etc. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down why. Specifically in two categories. The first one being the general aspect of Chi that practically any Chi user, regardless of their level, can achieve. And the second being the unique aspects that specific Chi users can achieve. One thing we have to touch on before we get into all that, though, is that Chi is often referred to as one's inner spirit or spirit energy, meaning that it's completely unique to oneself. And Shang-Chi shows us this by finding out that Danny Rand is the Iron Fist by reading what his Chi tells him. The concept of uniqueness spreads even further than that, because in Spider Island, Shang-Chi tells us that this transcribes to martial arts as well. Kung Fu is the mixture of one's skills and Chi, meaning that the unique aspect of one's spirit energy also makes one's martial arts unique to them as well. Practically, in another sense, you can't replicate it unless you can replicate both Chi and skill. One of the best examples of this, especially in a modern sense, is Lin Lai's Iron Fist, because he is the culmination of both his family's heritage with Swordmaster, as well as having the Chi of Kung Lung. He is more unique than most other martial artists in Marvel. His whole character arc was him trying to find a way to balance these two powers instead of making them two as one. Just for an extra sprinkle of reinforcement, Shang-Chi tells us that he is always fighting with both body and soul. All that out of the way, we could finally touch on the more generalized aspects of Chi. When I say generalized, the power levels are going to be drastically different from one another, but it's theoretically a level that anybody could achieve. It's nothing specific to one style of martial arts or whatever. As one knows, Chi can be used to increase their physicality, their striking power, their durability, their speed, etc, etc. As Fat Cobra ends up telling us, that level of Chi manipulation is the most basic level you can get to. When you're fighting with those top echelon dogs, you're gonna need more than that. What I meant by power levels earlier is that obviously they both can infuse their powers with Chi to make themselves physically more tougher, etc. But Lin Lai is not going to be able to take a punch equivalent to that of a neutron bomb like Fat Cobra can. You can even use Danny or any Iron Fist for this notion. Everybody can infuse their punch with Chi to make it hit harder, but not everybody can infuse their punches with Chi to the level of an Iron Fist. This is more due to unique factors that will be touched on later on. Due to how simple the concept of just boosting one's physicality is, I'm just going to move on to the next aspect, being Chi healing. Every Chi user has the ability to either heal themselves or mitigate the damage that they receive. Shang-Chi in this moment here notes that he can evenly disrupt trauma in a specific point across his entire body to not receive as much damage. And he ends up showing us that he can heal passively in order to recover from minor damage. Davos the Steel Serpent ends up using Chi to regrow entire body parts. Like I said, there's levels to this shit, and you can honestly use one's own Chi in order to make yourself immortal, like Shang's dad does, and he mentions in this comic. Fat Cobra even weighs on this. He notes that he himself slows down his aging process. He says he's seen people regenerate from a single knuckle. Has seen his master regress his aging by 43 years. Like, that's wild. Even more mundane things, like being able to increase one's body temperature so they don't feel cold, is kind of wild. You could practically throw a Chi user in any environment and they'll be fine. And the healing goes beyond just that. It goes to ailments, curses, etc, etc as well. Like on the metaphysical level type shit. And uses her powers of sin to practically corrupt everybody, even the Avengers. But Shang-Chi uses his Chi in order to cure this ailment. During the Damnation event, when Mephisto practically brings hell on Earth and multiple heroes are getting corrupted by his evilness, not only was Fat Cobra completely unaffected by Mephisto's influence, he was able to completely heal the inflection on Iron Fist. Another notion in Spider Island, everyone's getting corrupted and turned into spiders. Everyone but the immortal weapons. And Iron Fist's high level of Chi also works on other individuals as well. Despite Shang being a master Chi user, he could not resist the affliction. With Danny's help, he was able to completely cure him. Assuming more aspects of this, like Shang-Chi being able to resist Mr. Negative thanks to his spirit energy, I think y'all get the point. If one Chi user really wanted to make them so, they could literally become immortal and vulnerable, all those higher echelon abilities most other power sources can give you. Next up on the list of general abilities is energy absorption. This is also another topic I'm not going to stay on long because it doesn't really need to be explained that much, but they can absorb various forms of energy. As we see what Fat Cobra does to Thin Fang's Foom Fire. In order to stop this train from running into the heavenly cities, Iron Fist manipulates its electromagnetic field and fuses it with its chi, and punches the fuck out of it. Due to its tranquil nature and mind, can actually quell or stall the flames of the Phoenix Force. Like, we're still not done because the last generalized topic I want to talk about is chi sensing. Remember, chi is a spiritual force of one's individual. Everybody has it, so they can practically sense for anyone. And he shows this off as he's able to read the chi of somebody spying on him. I think the best showing of this comes from Shang-Chi, where Jean Grey, the best telepath on the planet, tries to telepathically hide her presence for Shang to still somehow find their location. Like I said, the generalization of chi is vast, potent, etc., etc. There's not a single power that you can think of that other power sources can give an individual that chi cannot also provide you. But with the general aspect of it all out the way, let's go into more unique factors. Honestly, the immortal weapons showed chi at its utmost versatile. Fat Cobra notes in multiple techniques that only his style of martial arts is able to produce. Being able to transmute his chi into electricity and use it into a physical aspect, which he does quite often. Quickly going through other immortal weapons, Lady of Spiders can somehow use her chi to create and manipulate spiders. He can use his chi to become a literal spirit, fight the undead. Dog Brother. Through a trial of sacrifice, one's master always sacrifices themselves for the younger, and their chi flows into their body, as well as their connection to manipulate dogs. We already know Danny's Iron Fist. I don't think I need to explain that. It's such a finite, concentrated, potent source of chi that it greatly exemplifies his striking power beyond what normal chi can give you. As of right now, Shang-Chi, as far as I know, doesn't have any unique aspects of chi. He used to be able to make clones of himself or whatnot, but he hasn't been able to reproduce this effect in modern era. Yup, that's chi for you. And like I said, it's one of the most potent power sources in all of Marvel. And its versatility, its potential is honestly up there with the best of them. You gotta give it its respect. You gotta give their users its respect because they deserve it.